Hey there, I'm back with my purple hair, and today we're talking about aesthetics. So we're gonna be kind of doing a get ready with me and chatting about where they come from, why they're a big deal now, and generational identity. My baby sister, who's 9, asked me the other day what an aesthetic was, and I could not tell her. So that's what precipitated this video, and I'm just really interested in generational identity, aesthetics, why people create, like the vision and the perspective that goes into art and vibes, and talking about the differences. So that's what we're going to be doing, and let's get into it. Oh, wait. Subscribe. Like if you like it, dislike if you don't, let me know. And comment as I'm going through about your personal experience or if I'm missing any information, because I did some research, but I couldn't find what I was looking for. So maybe I'll get that from you. Okay, now we're jumping into it. Hi, let's get started. So starting with the origins of aesthetics. So aesthetics is the philosophical study of beauty and taste. It's been mostly historically used for describing art and categorizing it. I'm mixing Glossier skin tint with a tiny little bit of IT Cosmetics CC cream. Because that both gives me the amount of texture, the coverage, and the color match that I'm looking for. So according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, or Britannica, I don't know, the categorization of aesthetics rose out of trying to define beauty. So people are like, why are you making that art? It's ugly. And they're like, no, we think it's beautiful. And so it's kind of categorizing, I guess, the reasons people make art and the things that people think are beautiful, categorizing those into groups. So for example, an impressionist might not understand like a portrait painter's idea of beauty, because the impressionist is taking in their own perspective of the world, and then what they see as beautiful, they emphasize in their art. Just putting the leftovers down my neck. I'm gonna use a brush because it's pretty liquidy, so a sponge right away would, I think, take away from it. So it's the philosophy of taste, but it's also a little bit of like the philosophy of beauty and why people create and how people see the world also plays into that. So Britannica does not cover the modern usage of the word at all. From what I could find, most places that like define the word aesthetics in a pretty authoritative way don't cover how people use it in the modern day, which I think is weird, like kind of pretentious of you, but like you're supposed to cover how people use the word, but whatever. I guess they're pretty slow at things. But like if your job is to stay up to date on the definition of words and how people use them, then surely you would be updating that pretty frequently. I don't know. It's a pretty established use of the word, but maybe I'm just in my little internet bubble. Feeling cuter. So I couldn't find a timeline or definition or anything for when the word aesthetics came to mean someone's identity and how they like choose to live their life, what they surround themselves with. Britannica does mention that it has something to do with taste, but I can't find like a history of the word. So what are aesthetics now, and how did they become a cultural thing? Aesthetics can be different entire internet communities or just communities in general. They can be the vibe you create throughout your life with what you surround yourself with how you dress, how you do your makeup. They're how you express yourself outwardly, visually. And they can also be based on or dictate the activities and communities that you're a part of. And I honestly feel like different aesthetics, like certain aesthetics can have traits that go with them, like with a lot of alternative styles, like there's a lot of aesthetics that go under that umbrella, but with a lot of alternative styles you can get kind of a link with the LGBTQ community, with activism, and I feel like if you are willing to kind of take the social risk of expressing yourself that way, if it's like kind of goth derived or something like that, that you are more willing to take action socially, to be an activist. So even if you share values with a lot of people, I feel like you're going to be the one who takes the action, who goes on the march, who flies the flag. Maybe that's irrelevant, but I strive to be like you is what I'm saying. And I feel like people within certain aesthetics can share different traits. I'm also striving to get to a point in my life where I can not set the Glossier stretch concealer, but I use way too much of it, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get there. So one list of subcultures is on is like a wiki, and there's like more than 200 on there, I'm pretty sure. So if you're interested in exploring like the more nuanced or niche ones, that's there. There are some weird ones on there that I'm not sure should be aesthetics, but they're there. They're listed. And they don't have tons of pictures on the wiki, so if you want to explore, because it's a visual thing, I would go on Tumblr, because that is, from what I understand, these aesthetics originated from. Like cottagecore, I'm pretty sure originated on Tumblr, but a lot of them have been popularized. So like they originated on Tumblr in 2013-14, and now they've been popularized by TikTok and are making it onto other platforms. And I couldn't tell you how I know that. I have no idea. By the way, this is the Alva palette, obviously, from Odin's Eye. I've been loving it. It is everything I want to be and more. Angelica is one of my faves, and that's what I have to say about that. I feel like Odin's Eye is definitely gonna take off because they just top notch. Do I want to go with like a greeny brown, or do I want to go with purples? Okay, so now we're on my aesthetic. We've reached that point, and it's changing, but I want to say it's kind of like, what was I combining? Soft macabre, or like soft grunge academia, somewhere in there. I think soft macabre probably, but I haven't looked at many pictures. It just sounded right, so we'll see if that changes. I'm really liking this eye shape. I don't remember who I got the tip from, but they said to, I think it was Angelica. I think I'm highly influenced by Angelica. To take your bronzer and pull it from like the corner of your eye to up here, and it really like sketches out the shape nicely. I'm a fan. And since we're talking about academia, I think dark and light academia and cottagecore are the main ones, the main aesthetics that have blown up for good reason. But I read an article by Russian state media, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't know why they were writing about it, but I saw, I think on Instagram, this is so weird. They said that because students aren't able to attend universities, that it's kind of like romanticizing it. And I think it's more than that. I think it's like kind of a Little Women inspired movement. Harry Potter. People are just liking romanticizing history and learning and being in spaces where people have gone like before them. I don't know how to describe it, but that's why it's a big nebulous idea. There are several like quizzes, like YouTube video quizzes, and those are really fun to watch or to just like look at. I want to be all of them. And yeah, I think that's probably what people like about it. And so here's where we go into my opinion. I think that ooh, yeah, I like that. I think that aesthetic started to mean like an identity, an entire look that's not limited to like just one look. When we reached the digital age, I mean, it's kind of more recent than that, but I don't know. I wasn't using a lot of words in the early 2000s, so I wasn't very cultured then. But yeah, I think it came to mean an identity once we reached the point where people who have grown up in the digital age are forming an identity, and they have so much to choose from. Everything is culturally rich. There's like a super culture, which means like, ooh, I want that one too. Okay, getting distracted. So super culture is what we have now, where like people around the world are wearing Nikes and can watch TV and movies from everywhere, and there's kind of like standard business practices across the entire world, and global shipping. I do want to take this higher. So in a world where there's a super culture and you're trying to form an identity, there's like so much to choose from, and I think aesthetics are a way to narrow that down and to kind of define the direction you want to take your style, and to also identify yourself with a group, because like I said, there are some like personality traits that go along with people who have chosen a certain aesthetic, and of course that's not a rule, but like you can choose to be more feminine or more badass or more artistic or more academic by choosing a different aesthetic to kind of line your style with. So I think it's a way to kind of filter out the noise and create a cohesive style, and to kind of associate yourself with a subject matter. Like if you chose I don't know how comfortable I feel with saying this, but it's the name. If you chose the aesthetic art hoe, then I still don't like saying it, but I mean, what else am I going to call it? Yeah. if you chose that aesthetic, then you associate yourself more with creating and artistic expression. If you associate yourself more with dark academia, then you're more like brooding and you value like poetry or those activities and those subjects. And it's kind of a way to surround yourself with what you love. So I really wanted to talk about this because I'm interested in generational identity and like the forces that form generations and cultural phenomenon kind of shaping identity and how that impacts like individuals. I'm really interested in like why things blow up and how it affects individuals' identity within that generation. I totally forgot about blush. Who am I? I always do my entire face before eyes. How did I miss this? And I just love interesting visuals. Can't escape it. I'll always be interested in the differences in style and the combination of art and philosophy and the psychology of creating. Why wouldn't anyone want to talk about this? I'm a nerd. I really like that shape. This is what I've been going for months, and I just now figured out how to do it. I've tried to start my channel a few times, but I always kind of get disheartened because I think like I'm not a 16-year-old model. Like, I know that I have things that are, I guess, worth saying, at least seeing if people want to hear them, but I thought that because I didn't have the looks that a lot of really big people on the platform have, that it like wasn't worth trying because like no one was going to see it anyway. And I don't know, I just want to like participate and have fun with everyone else. And I've recently been seeing more and more just like normal people with good things to say succeed, and that's been really inspiring for me. I was gonna name names, but then I thought that would be like unintentionally mean. But like people who aren't teenagers and who look like normal people just doing their thing, and I love watching their channel. And if I love watching their channel and lots of other people do, then like maybe people would be interested in watching mine. Also, I think I came across this style of video, and in order for me to stick with a style of video or content, it would have to be something that came pretty natural to me and that I enjoyed a lot. And other topics I've tried, I've been interested in, but my interest in makeup and talking is one that never goes away. So all the effort that goes with staying consistent in this type of video, because I would never want to do a video that like wasn't thoughtful or didn't require a lot of effort, and therefore that requires a lot of effort. Anyway, this style of video was inspired by Sydney Black with Makeup and Mondays, or Makeup and History Mondays is what I meant to say. And why am I blanking on my faves' names? Jamie French. Yep. With her Makeup and Movie Mondays. I don't know, are they both Mondays? But I think I'm gonna call this series Culture Conversations. I don't know. I feel like it has to alliterate. Does it though? I'm taking suggestions for a name for this, because I'm gonna keep doing it even if I get 0 views. Get ready with me, Cultural Conversations. I don't know. I don't want it to be makeup and something, because I feel like that's, I don't know, too long other people's content, fill in the blank. I don't know really why I want to avoid that. I want to call it a get ready with me. But is that boring now? I need input. So I'm trying out this 90s style that Jackie Wires has on her channel, and I don't know how it looks on me, so please tell me. I think I'm kind of doing it wrong, but it's cool. I was going for grunge and couldn't resist, so it's all pink. I am loving the album palette, everything about it speaks to my soul. I think secretly I'm Rapunzel, and I wanted to show you. This was sitting on the counter, and David, my sweet husband, was saying that we could not get rid of it because it was too cute, which is such a me thing that I was surprised that he did it. Still don't know what we're gonna do with it, but it's here. Subscribe if you'd like. Hopefully we can have a fun time. Please respond in the comments with your personal experience, with if you disagree with me about anything, with more information on the background of aesthetics in general. I would love to hear your thoughts, and if I wanted this to be a one-way street, I wouldn't be posting it to YouTube. So please let me know your thoughts. Yeah, I'll see you next time.
Ban.
Ban.
Ban. The tea slate. I'm happy to be your ban.
David, could you get my mascara?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where do we need?
In the car downstairs.